Let's have a look at one of the hidden evils of dog culture. So, dog culture is a major driver of stress in society because dog ownership creates constant emergencies. So, an emergency can significantly increase your stress level. It can lead to a range of physical and emotional reactions. Yeah, so link will be in the description, but go ahead and just read some of this stuff right here. You don't want to have a life full of constant emergencies because it's just going to fill you with stress. So, dogs create emergencies all the time. One of the ways that they do this is emergency veterinary care. Well, many situations can arise to necessitate immediate attention from a veterinarian, including injury, illness, and ingestion of substances. So the link will be in the description, but just read it. Dogs are always doing stupid, ridiculous things: eating carpet, swallowing hiking boots, running underneath cars, getting killed by the neighbor's dog, getting mauled by the neighbor's dog, mauling the neighbor's dog, etc., so on and so forth. Jumping off of cliffs and other stuff like that. So, next up. So, the market, check this out. Check out the market for emergency veterinary care. Big numbers here. 26.47 billion by 2029 is the estimated growth for this. Just read some of this stuff, people. This is crazy. And this just indicates that more and more pets are causing emergencies, for one thing. And even if it's not an emergency, pet owners think it's an emergency because we are such a dog worshipping society. Even somebody on Facebook that tells the truth about dog ownership, that's an emergency for freaking dog owners, because they'll be in the comments literally calling for you to be fired from your job if you speak the truth about pets. The same thing with like police officers that have to shoot two pit bulls that are attacking them. People will be all over social media calling for those police officers to have the death penalty. So yeah, everything with freaking dog owners is a damn emergency. And this market, look at these numbers, guys. 28.07 billion, a compound annual growth rate of 6.05. That's a lot. That's a lot of money and time and man hours getting poured into responding to dog related emergencies. And so another thing about this, dogs often need life-saving services. That means the veterinarians are going to have to show up in the middle of the night. They're going to have to do all kinds of crazy stuff at the last minute to save some dog because it did some stupid thing, or some stupid thing was done to it by another dog. They tipped the toaster oven down and the house caught on fire and the dog got a burn injury. So many different things. Here it all is. You can just read it and understand that this is a huge stressor for veterinarians. And so, like I said, veterinarians experience significant stress from dog emergencies. I'm surprised they actually put absolutely in this one. Oftentimes, some of these search results will favor dogs. But yeah, look at this: high stakes pressure, emotional investment, workload and staffing shortages, physical and mental demands. Yeah, you're creating a freaking crazy emergency for all these veterinarians because of just, oh, man's best friend. Yeah, I don't think so, guys. And so what about 911 dispatchers then? Yeah, these people have to respond to dog bites. Significant stress happens to these 911 people. What about what about incidents where the police have to be dispatched? Yes, these are on the rise. These happen all the time. Read some of these sources. Like, check out this one. Dog bites send a record number of people to the emergency room. Yeah, dog bite insurance claims are on the rise. Like this one right here. Dog attacks are on the rise. Sorry, I'm trying not to click on it. It'll screw up my page. But yeah, increases in dog bites means more 911 people getting stressed out, more police getting stressed out, more emergencies for all these people that have to respond to the results of owning dogs. And here's another emergency that is caused by this dog ownership: cliff rescues. These are just some news results. This one is from April 18th, 2025, but they're just all over the place, guys. I have a huge playlist on these. These stupid dogs jump off of cliffs, jump into frozen ponds, jump into abandoned buildings where they get stuck. They jump on trees trying to chase squirrels, and they get their feet stuck between limbs, and the fire department have to come out there. It's a huge emergency. It's a huge taxpayer response, all for a dog that normally, if this thing was out in nature, the thing would just die off. But all of this taxpayer benefit has to go to dogs, and it's an emergency. All of these things are emergency services that your taxes pay for. And again, 911 operators, they're the ones that are going to get the call. They experience significant stress from the emergencies that they handle. Dog bites, a dog fell in a pond, a dog stuck in a tree, a dog fell in a hole, a dog fell down a cave, blah, 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 blah. You're just making these people's life worse by promoting dog ownership. And so another thing these 911 dispatchers have to do is suppress their emotions. So they're dealing with all these dog bite attacks. They're dealing with dog owners making calls for whatever problem they're having with their dog. And then they have to go home, and they have to watch on Facebook people calling pit bulls nanny dogs after they've dispatched police because a pit bull was killing a young toddler. Yeah, they're forced to suppress all of the stuff that they deal with dogs, because when they clock out of their 911 job, they're walking right into a dog-worshipping church, the society of dog worshippers, where you can't speak out bad stuff about dogs, otherwise you'll get shadow banned on YouTube, you'll get trash talk on Facebook, or you'll get scoffed at out in public as people walk around allowing their dogs to do whatever they want whenever they want. Yet you dispatch police to somebody being killed by a dog maybe like 30 or 40 minutes ago. And suppressing your emotions is not good. And so another thing about this, we already know that veterinarians have a high suicide rate. Well, so do 911 dispatchers. So this emotional suppression from dog bites, the stress from dog bites or other dog emergencies, it doesn't even have to be dog bites. It can be those stupid dogs jumping in the pond like they always do, or getting hit by a car like they always do. Guess what? Guess what you're doing to your 911 operators? Suicide ideation, mental health challenges, comparison to the general population, they have a higher suicide rate, stress. Yeah, they say here that it's important that they get support. But when it comes to dog emergencies, do you think that they're going to get any support, or do you think that they're going to be scoffed at by somebody else that owns a dog? Oh, my dog would never. Not my dog. We raised him with love. Yeah. So again, high suicide rates in the dog servicing industries because of an emergency. 911, guys, 911 operators, that's an emergency. And so, like I mentioned, there's plenty of information, but 911 operators, they receive calls about dog attacks. And look what they say right here. 911 is primarily for human emergencies, but they use 911 for dog attacks all the time. And so the reason I wanted to mention that is because, look at this. This is a taxpayer-funded services. And also, your telephone fees pay for 911. So your T-Mobile, your Verizon bill, you're partly paying for dog attacks and other dog emergencies that the 911 people have to dispatch police officers for. This is what I'm talking to you guys about, dog culture being like socialism or communism. We all pay for this nasty bullshit of dog worship through our taxes and through our phone bill. Every time someone calls 911, your phone bill helps pay for that. And 911 gets calls for dog problems very often. Yeah. So yeah, it's socialism, it's communism, and it's a huge taxpayer burden, and it's a huge burden on our citizens because, like we freaking already know, emergencies can significantly increase stress levels. And all of these things are emergencies because we worship dogs. Now, if you're one of my fellow Oregon people or any other state, read up on this little topic: Emergency Communications Tax, State 911 Program. So in Oregon, we take in a bunch of dogs from Texas. Texas has a huge stray dog problem. Tax shelter organizations drive over there, jet plane over there. They bring dogs back to Oregon, all under the 501c3 tax shelter because they call themselves a charity. Okay, but that means that we're gonna get more calls for these dogs running off trail, falling off cliffs, attacking people, attacking each other, running free. So we are basically in Oregon being socialist and communist taxed for all the shit that Texas refuses to deal with. Texas sends us those nasty dogs, then we adopt them. We pay all types of money for those dogs, even though we have starving dogs in Oregon already and starving kids. And so when you pay for your 911 and when you pay for your taxes, you're partially paying for jackass, stray, sick dogs that are being carted into your freaking state, Oregonians, or any other state that takes a significant amount of dogs from some other state. So again, it's socialism, it's communism, it's a giant tax on our citizens, it's a giant tax on our actual financial taxes. So, yeah, there you go. That's how emergencies are caused by dogs, and it causes significant stress levels in individuals and all of this too. Yep. So there you go. That's another problem with dog ownership. It creates stress, it creates emergencies, it creates health problems for all the people that have to deal with dogs. Suicide rates are high in all of these industries that I've pointed out to you. So anybody that tells you dogs are great or we should get a bunch of dogs or dogs relieve stress, there's something significantly wrong with that person because this information is available to everybody. See you guys later.